Good evening, everyone. This is Kenny Larson with The Gauntlet. Tonight's interview is Spiritual Sickness, a band that has defied genre placement, I believe, having listened to the EP that is out now. And we are talking with Ed Mischke. Ed,
How you doing, guys?
you are the one of the guitarists for the band, or is there only one?
Only one, just me.
Okay. Uh, excuse me. How would you describe, if someone asked you to describe your music, how would you describe it?
Genre-wise, I label it as progressive power metal. It's kind of a cross of a bunch of different styles, but there's a lot of each, elements of each in it.
Sure.
That's where I put it.
Well, I thought when I first heard it, I've been listening. I've been on a 12-day run with power metal interviews, but when I heard this one and started playing it today, it had a little more crunch to it, a little more jagged edge.
Gotcha.
And that really appealed to me. Not because I am, against power metal, but I love it. Of course, that's from my generation. That's what I grew up on. Really, was the new wave of British heavy metal, as they call it. I'm now calling this trend the new wave of American heavy metal, and it's exploding right now. So.
Yep.
So tell me, where are you calling me from tonight, Ed?
New York. I'm in Westchester County, about 30 miles out of New York City.
And is that where the whole band is located?
Actually, we're mainly based out of Long Island, New York, which is not too far from where I am either. But the record before that was all drum, two and six strings, so it's kind of it's progressively moving forward guitar wise, which is taking the whole band to the next level.
Right. I look forward to that. What kind of a release date are you looking at? Are you just starting the writing process, or?
No, we've been. You know what? I have actually a lot of the tunes written already. I'm looking at what we're hoping by an end of April release. That's where we're going right now, and I think we should be able to pull it off. Things are going pretty smoothly, and most of the recording is getting done in my house. I have a studio in my house, and that's how we're doing everything.
Cool. Are you on a label?
No, we're not actually. We are going to start diligently, if I can say the word diligently, diligently searching for a home for our stuff. We've had some offers, but it's kind of strange the way the whole industry is right now. So we're gonna put the search out as soon as this record is done. We're really gonna make a decision on what we're doing.
Yeah, I can understand what you say with the strangeness. My perception of record labels is they go anywhere from a sticker on your record to financing and distribution, but there isn't really a universal definition of what the hell a record label is.
Oh no, not anymore, right?
Yeah.
It's over and done.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's funny how I've had this conversation a few times about how we basically turned into T-shirt, and sticker peddlers, and that's how you make any kind of money playing music these days. I mean, our style of music is, it's like kind of there's so many of us doing it, but it really is a dying breed because financially, it's very difficult to make a living doing it.
Yes, it is, and that's one of the reasons why you really I get a lot of respect because I've interviewed bands. You used to have an old school bus, right? Now they're in minivans, sleeping in minivans, with a wet wipe shower and some baby powder, and I've always wanted to be a rock star, and all of a sudden I start to see this, and I go, maybe that's too much work. My God, it looks like torture, you know?
Yeah, no, I hear you, dude. I hear you. Listen, it's it's a ton of work. You know, you drive all over the place. You load and unload. Your own roadies, your own finances, your own everything, and you do all of that. You're on the road all day long to play for an hour and pack it up, and it's a little crazy.
Sure.
But that 1 hour is worth everything to me, anyway.
Absolutely. It's would you say that it is approaches the unreal?
Yeah, sometimes. Listen, you could get to the point sometimes where you just like, what the F am I doing? You know what I mean? But once again, all you need is that 1 hour, and it all comes back to why you're doing it. You know what I mean? So it's all for the. I love to play live. I just love playing all around. But being locked up in the studio is a great thing because you kind of you come up with a great product. You're proud of what you're doing. And then but still it's outshined by playing live.
Yes, absolutely. And when I said, does it approach the unreal, I was talking about that hour.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, actually, absolutely. It's a strange situation, to put it plainly.
Cool. Okay, so you mentioned the writing process. Are you the sole writer?
As far as the music is concerned, yes. I don't write any lyrics or anything like that. I come up with song title every now and then and whatnot. But I let our singer Jeff Kohler take care of all of that. And I'm the guy who came up with the name of the band. I'm good for that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And come up with a decent guitar riff every now and then.
Sure. So you don't write the vocal melodies or anything like that?
No. Well, it's kind of a strange thing because what happens is I wind up writing the riff, and then Jeff and I get together and we kind of do the final arrangements together. I wind up laying guitar tracks down to a click track, and then we kind of jumble everything around and turn it into a tune, final arrangements. But we both kind of nudge each other in a direction in which we want to go.
Sure. So you got a permanent band now? Do you have a serious band?
Yes. No, it is a permanent band.
And so having those other influences has expanded your aperture of what you see as maybe good writing?
Absolutely. I think it's kind of, it's every now and then it's great to be able to, feed off new blood, so to speak, but there's nothing like having this, having the same guys together and you know each other, what each other is going to do, that kind of thing. So it's, you get comfortable with the guys, you know where it's going to go, and you know how to work with people.
Yeah, and so I would anticipate the April album will be a really good one.
Oh, I appreciate that. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, it's heavy as hell, man. I'm really digging the guitar tones. I'm digging the whole thing actually.
That's fantastic.
I'm really excited about the drawbacks about having your recording in your own home, or where you have access to to a studio 24/7, and you don't have to worry about the financial end of it because it's all paid for. Is that you can sometimes go overboard, and you can keep on going back and refining. That's one of the only drawbacks of it. But, that's that.
Well, yeah, but it's certainly a leg up on someone that's got to get studio time and pay for it.
Oh, absolutely.
Uh,
That's well, it's a small drawback, but not a big one. You know?
yeah. Okay, so I take it you got a booth and monitors and everything down there. Big.
Well, actually, you know what? It's a strange setup, but the way that we do it, but it comes out really, really good. So we did the EP was all done in my my home studio. So I mean, what do you think of it sonically?
I have it flat on the EQ and it's fully tubed out.
Not bad, right?
No, not bad at all. It's a very good mix. And there are some really bad mixes out there. Let me tell you.
Yeah. Oh, I know. And you know what? The thing is, it was recorded here, but the engineering was done by, we bring a guy in, our buddy, we call him the Viking, and he's been with us for a while with our engineering and mixing. He actually worked with Virgin Steel. You know, he's a real good friend of mine, and that's what we bring in when it's time to start putting it all together. You know.
Sure.
I don't do it all. Too much to do, you know?
Yeah, there's a name I haven't heard in a while, Virgins. Okay, so let me ask this, Ed. Is there a Moment of Truth album in your past? And by that I mean one that you just played, or one that you heard and you went, that's what I want to do, or maybe more than one, anything like that?
Well, you know, I can tell you that we could start with Hemispheres from Rush years ago, and then we could move into Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath from Sabbath, and then we can move into Iron Maiden. I mean, there's so many records that I just like just breathe guitar through and just play it over and over and over again. And then with the newest stuff, Symphony X, Nevermore is one of my favorites. Each of these bands has a record that really got me, which kind of influenced me in a different direction, which is kind of cool,
Sure. That's a good collection of. I've got every one of those. Well, not all the Symphony X catalog, but I've got a few of them. I'm still buying media, so.
Oh, really? Are you? Okay.
I'm in the. I like to support the band and give them some money, and I also like to hoard CDs. I like to or vinyl. I like to hold something. I like liner notes. The whole thing.
That's funny because you're exactly like Jeff Cole, the singer in the band. He's got probably in the thousands, and he doesn't believe in downloading music. I download everything. I pay for it. I don't pirate it, but I don't buy CDs anymore. I just download it on iTunes or whatever it is, and I'm buying it from.
Gotcha. All right, I'm going to shift gears here into a little section I put together for you of either or questions. So the first one is Priest or Maiden?
Oh wow, that's not fair.
Yeah, okay, you got to.
But if I had to, I have to say Priest.
Okay, that's where I would go to. But it is not fair. You're right. How about Roth or Hager?
Say that again?
Roth or Hager?
Oh Jesus! Well, you know what? The only real Van Halen was with David Lee Roth. As long as we're not talking about what he's become now, it would have to sadly be Roth.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. Schenker or Blackmore?
Well, you know what? Let's see. Michael Schenker was way more of an influence on me than Blackmore was. So I would have to say Schenker because Blackmore, I loved a lot of it. I loved everything he did with, Rainbow Rising, one of my favorite records of all time. However, Michael Schenker, you just can't, his tone and his feel is just unbelievable.
I agree with that, yeah. And it sounds like we might be from the same generation, maybe.
Absolutely, man.
Okay, so the ocean on some people's responses. So
Okay, well, it's not going to be Billy Ocean, but I can tell you that. Let me just think, because every week it'll kind of change. Every now and then you go back to that stuff. But I would say the most unmetal stuff that I've ever really listened to would be like Seal or Journey, for that matter. But I load it up every now and then, because what winds up happening, especially when I'm writing, it's like I can sit here and I'll be out jogging or something like that, and I'll be listening to something, and then all of a sudden I'll sit down and be like, let me hunker down and write some tunes, and all of a sudden I'm pulling these riffs off, and I'm like, yeah, fuck, that's from that's what I was listening to today. You know what I mean? So a lot of times I wind up listening to unmetal stuff for more than one reason. But there's a lot of good music in every genre out there, well, except for a couple, but we'll get into that.
sure. I'm sure they're probably the same as mine, but I like Seal too. Yes, he's got some epic songs, and he's unlike any other artist I've heard. But we're not talking about them. We're talking about you. So
There you go.
what is beyond recording, performing, anything? You can't answer this with guitar or anything. What is your favorite pastime? Do you have one?
I got a bunch, unfortunately, and I say unfortunately because there's never enough time for me to do everything I like to do. I'm into electronics, and I'm into carpentry.
Well, that's kind of neat. So
yeah, it's a lot of fun,
And you got some inventions in the electronic world, like the toilet seat that reads you the news or something like that.
No, but you know what? Even though we're not supposed to be talking about stuff that has to do with guitar stuff, I mean, I do all my own wiring with everything. I make my own cables, wire my own racks, I make my own breakout boxes. I do all of that myself, and that if you think about it, the same thing goes with carpentry, because it's on. It really is. No matter, I like, and when I say carpentry, I don't mean like framing. I'm, finish work. I like to do like old style moldings and stuff like that. Stuff that you can, when you're done with, you can sit back and look at it and be like, that looks cool. You know what I mean? And it's all art, and it all comes down to the same, the same thing as music. You know what I mean? It's all, it's all kind of wrapped up in the same quilt, so to speak.
Right. Well, I live in a 100-year-old house, and the mold.
So do I.
Yeah, so the moldings are like fantastic, but I don't know how to do finished carpentry, and I don't have the equipment. But
Yep.
I do need some pieces done, so I'm gonna have to find somebody eventually. But
It's pretty goddamn cool. I got 10-foot, as I'm sure you do as well. The coolest thing about old houses, 10-foot ceilings, 9.5-foot ceilings, and all this great carpentry work, like the trim around the windows, and like the moldings have reverse crowns on them, and all this crazy stuff, and it's just like to kind of duplicate some of that stuff and get it back into this time. And actually, believe it or not, it's inspiring musically. It's really strange, but it all. I do believe it actually all is a part of, all becomes a part of, what I do. So it's pretty cool.
that is a cool. That's the first time I've heard that. Have you got the name Spiritual Sickness? Does that pertain to anything, or is it just a cool name?
Actually, it's funny because you asked about, Paramount Records. That kind of turned me around. Well, one of the biggest game changers for me was this Godless Endeavor from Nevermore. My daughter actually bought it for me for Father's Day back in like 2005. My younger daughter, and listening to those guys kind of, changed everything that I had, musically. And the funny thing is that the EP cover is done by Van Williams, who's the drummer of Nevermore. I became really good friends with him. He's also the drummer and Ghost Ship Octavius that we've gone on tour with, and also Ashes of Aries. So that's one of the coolest things right there, is that it all kind of, I became kind of good friends with this dude. And, you know, it's been a cool ride actually.
That's a great story. Okay, so here's our last little quick question here, Ed, and this is for all the fans and even myself. Do you have the EP still in media format?
Yes.
Okay, and
Yes.
where
Yes, we do.
where can we get it?
Okay, you can. It's available on CD Baby. It's available on Amazon. It's in all the outlets. You know, it can be purchased in iTunes in download format. If you have any problem with anybody being out of stock on it or anything, just send me a message on our Facebook, which I'll give you is it's facebook.com Spiritual Sickness Metal.
Okay.
And you send me an email, I'll be glad to send you what you want. If you're a hard copy collector,
yes, I am.
Send me an email later, and I'll mail you out both the CDs.
Okay. That's fantastic. All right. So, folks, you've been listening to Ed Mischke, the backbone of an upcoming band who's working on an album that's possibly a breakout album for them. You need to go get this EP and familiarize yourself with it. Ed, I'd like to say I really appreciate talking to you tonight, and you've been a true gentleman, and you make some really good music. So have yourself a good Sunday night.
You too, buddy, and thanks for your support, and thanks for doing what you do, because we know, I know it's not thankless, it's just cashless. So we really appreciate your support. Thank you very much, man. And we don't when we have the new record come out, I'd be happy if you had us back on. Maybe I can get another one of the guys, and we'll play it up.
All right, I'd love to do that. All right, take care and stay frosty.
You too, buddy.
All right.
Happy holidays, man. Take
Same.
care, buddy.
Yep. Bye.